Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As you all may remember, I taught a summer course, and I have some good insight into the things that we need to consider with regard to D2L Brightspace. Because the first faculty meeting is jam-packed, I decided to record this presentation for everyone so that you can review it as you're finishing up your course preparation for the fall. This video is going to go over several aspects, and the content will point to some specific shorter videos to show you how to do things. I'll provide a separate timestamp for the content in the YouTube description below the video for your convenience. I figured I'd start off with the good news, and that's that students are doing just fine. There was really no issues at all. They've been able to easily navigate around and figure things out. Now, not that the rest is bad news, but it is things that we do need to fix, discuss, or consider. First is the Q&A forum. All faculty should have their design courses set so that you're automatically subscribed to the forum. As we all know, when students are waiting for a question to be answered, time is of the essence. Subscribing to this forum will allow you to be notified immediately by email of questions that they're asking. It's easy to subscribe. First, navigate to the Discussions tab at the top of your course. Then choose the caret next to the forum title. And then just choose Subscribe. Feel free to also subscribe to any other forums using this same technique. There are a few things to discuss with regard to the class communications content currently in our courses. First, make sure that you edit the HTML to remove this verbiage. This was meant to just instruct everyone about updating it to reflect their own specific courses, but it's not meant to remain there as students see this, and it certainly is not professional. Next, the hyperlinks here do not work, or they don't go to the correct location, and this needs to be set within each design course so that it goes to the correct place. For announcements, I just suggest deleting the hyperlink, and I'll show you how to do that now. You can delete the hyperlink on the words announcements here by entering the HTML mode, and then just click on the word announcements and choose the break link. Don't forget to click close and save and close. Next is the About Us forum link. It does not go to the correct location and needs to be set as well. To do this, again, enter the HTML code by clicking the caret next to the title. First, you want to break the link by clicking on the link and choosing the break link title. Then to have it go to the correct link, highlight the content again, go to the quick link up here, and choose Discussions. Choose the discussion that you're looking to have it go to, which would be on the course homepage, About Us. And then click Save and Close. Now, when I click on the link, it's going to take you to the correct forum. You can use this same process to correct the Ask a Question and the Instructor Contact Information links. The verbiage here should also be updated to reflect what we call it in the course, and we call it Question and Answer Forum and Meet Your Instructor. Last is the Notifications and Settings link. Currently, this goes to the main page of Brightspace. But since we're directing students specifically to notifications and settings, we should likely put that link here instead. This gets done the same way that you just changed all the other links, and I've placed the correct hyperlink at the bottom of this page in the PowerPoint that I have sent to you. On this screen here, I just show you what my finalized class communication page looks like. Now I'd like to discuss the Quick Eval tool. I know I previously sent a video out on how to use this, but I just wanted to elaborate on it a little bit more. Again, you can access this tool under the Course Tools and then Quick Eval. It takes a moment to load, but once it does, you'll be presented with content such as this. Note, you will only see this content if you have assignments that are after their due date or if a student has marked it as completed. In this example here, you can see that Learning Module 11 is due on July 2nd, and the date of this recording is June 29th. I can also see that one student has marked this as completed. None of the submissions have been evaluated by the instructor yet. And since nothing's been graded yet, nothing has been published. I can also see that there is one new student's submission of their work. And if I click on that submission, it's going to take me immediately to the gradebook. On the previous slide, I mentioned students marking their work as completed. In a previous video, I discussed assignment settings for assignments that do not require students to upload anything. For example, if this is a VoiceThread assignment, there's nothing for a student to upload. Or perhaps it's a clinical observation where there's no documents that the students need to upload. When you have that type of assignment, in the assignment settings, you need to set it as a observed in-person submission type. When you choose the observed in-person submission type, you're presented with an option to mark as completed on one of three choices: manually by learners, automatically on due date, or automatically on evaluation. You should set this to manually by learners for this assignment type. Why? Because when students complete the work early, it still appears on their end that the work is not completed, which drives them crazy and causes them to send you tons of emails. They want to make sure that you've received their assignment. Giving them the control to mark it as completed removes it from their task list and really prevents this type of unnecessary communication. For assignments that require something to be uploaded, the system automatically removes it from the student's list once they've completed their upload. I sent a video out during week 1 of the summer session about gradebook settings and the cumulative grade. With the default settings in the gradebook, the calculated cumulative grades, they look a mess as they include the total points and the percentages. And additionally, sporadically, some students will have this column invisible with the eyeball closed. In that video, I shared how to fix this, and in the version of this PowerPoint that I'm sending you, I also have those videos embedded for you here. By following the instructions on how to update those settings, it is a much cleaner view for both the students and the instructor. Bulk editing. This is going to be your new favorite friend. This is a quick way to perform tasks on multiple things all at once. For example, you'll find it in the Gradebook under Manage Grades, where you can quickly update weights or assignment grades. But probably what we're all going to use it for most frequently is to change the due dates for our assignments all in one place quickly. I have a video on how to do this linked on this slide, And I also have it in my YouTube channel as listed as how to use bulk edit. An annoying thing in Brightspace with regard to the gradebook and rubrics is that the actual required content for each criterion on your rubric is not visible unless you hover over the bar. You can see I hover over it and then the criterion appears, which is really quite annoying. Londa actually came up with a great idea on how we can avoid having to hover over it. And basically, when you open up your rubric, just go through and click everything first, and then start back up at the top to do your grading. The criterion will remain. You can, of course, then change your grades as you need and add your feedback as you need. One issue that did arise over the summer with a student was that despite the fact that the grade was published to the student in the gradebook, the student was unable to actually view their grade or any of the feedback. And it ended up being because the overall score box was not ticked. When you're using the grading rubric, before you publish, you need to make sure that every criterion has a check mark in it. And when you get to the bottom, you want to make sure that also your overall score box is ticked. If it is not ticked, students will not be able to see their grade. And then, of course, that overall score will flow to the overall grade category. And then once you publish, the students will be able to see their grades. Speaking of rubrics, currently the discussion grading rubric does not allow for us to check off when a student completed their work on time. And since we have to tick everything to complete the grading cycle and allow students to see their grade and feedback, we really need to add one. Unfortunately, you cannot edit a rubric once it's been used for grading. However, you can make a copy of it and then make the corrections to the copied version. To copy your rubric, you're going to go to Course Tools, Course Administration, and then to Rubrics. Find the rubric that you're looking to copy. Click the tick mark next to it and choose Copy. In that section now you have Copy of Online Nursing Rubric. You could then go in and edit that rubric. And on the next slide I have a video showing you how to go about editing that. You just need to make sure that after you've done editing it, that you then attach the correct rubric to any assignments or discussions in your course. I also suggest then deleting the one that you're no longer using so that you don't get confused. You should also plan on including a column on your other assignments as well for on time and participation so that it's clear to students if they've lost or did not lose points for participation. Note though that ticking the late options on the rubric does not delete the points from the overall grade. You must change the grade manually before you publish. But you can at least show the students visually if they've lost points or if they were on time. And then, of course, write in the feedback section of that criterion to let them know that they lost points for participation or lateness. Hyperlinked at the top of this slide is a video that describes how to edit the rubric if you are interested in learning how to do that. When students submit work that has references with hyperlinks included, an automatic sticky note is put on our view of the documents, which sometimes gets in our way as we're trying to review the document for APA. For example, here, where the sticky note is blocking the first word of the article title, where we might want to make sure that the student had the period and capitalize that word. I just wanted to let everybody know that you can click on the sticky note and hit the trash can and it will remove it from your view. It took me quite a while to figure that one out, so I just wanted to share that one with everyone. We should spend a little bit of time discussing VoiceThread and its setup. I'm sure not everyone uses it in the same way, so there may be many different types of setup required, but most assignments are likely set up in the same way, I'm thinking. Because we're all using some sort of digital grading rubric now, we should not be using the version of VoiceThread in the setups that allow you to grade in VoiceThread. That option does not allow for a rubric. Therefore, in D2L, you should create your typical assignment so that you can include your guidelines and instructions, and then, of course, attach your grading rubric in your assignment. But then you should also create an access point like I show you here. In addition to this strategy giving students a clear access point to VoiceThread, it also gives the instructor an access point so that they can see the student's work. Note that this setting up the access point does not add another item to your gradebook, which is fine because you don't need another item in the gradebook because VoiceThread is going to be graded through the assignments guidelines link. This came up over the summer as one of the faculty contacted me. They couldn't find the students' work. They couldn't figure out how to get into VoiceThread, and it was because there was really no VoiceThread access point. So creating this will really help things much easier for both students and instructors. Hyperlinked at the top of this slide in your PowerPoints, you will see I have a video attached to show you how to set up VoiceThread in case you don't know how. In that video, I suggest using Course View, which is what I wanted to discuss here. For me, I do not mind my students all seeing each other's work, meaning nothing is private. Often they're required to watch and comment on their peers' presentations anyway, so Course View is the best setup. It decreases complications with students trying to find the work, and as I mentioned before, it also is a one-spot location for the instructors to find all the students' work as well. There are not many things that I hate in life. I'm pretty much a lover and not a hater. But there is one thing that I'm absolutely hating in D2L Brightspace. What is it? Submodules. As course developers and designers, we might look at this and think how organized it appears having these submodules, giving us the ability to provide these little headings to group our content. However, they're actually pretty stinky. When navigating, often you have to re-click on the item on the table of contents in order to load all of the things in the middle of the screen, which does two things. It makes us have to work harder to find everything, but it also makes it harder for students and also leaves the opportunity for them to miss important things. The thing is that when we originally designed these course shells, we didn't know what we didn't know, and now we do know. The good thing is that there is a much better way. Before I show you this better way, first just take a note of this course communication and participations section here. Notice it has the submodule heading there in bold, and then it has the 3 listed items beneath it. Using a template, we can design tab display sections for specific content, just like we had in Moodle. From the previous example, you can see that I created here a 3-tab display of that same content. Doing so also takes that module in the course from looking like this with this big long list of items that doesn't load all the time correctly, and this very complicated, crowded table of contents. It takes it from looking like this to a collapsed version of the table of contents because there's no submodules in it, and a module with just 4 items in it because the 2 lengthy ones, the course communication and participation and the academic integrity, are now collapsed and set up with tabbed displays. I am now using this tab display technique in all of my courses to present the assignments that are due for the week. I set this up during week 4 of my summer course. So my summer students actually had the original setup with the submodules followed by this tab display. And I cannot tell you how many students commented on how much easier it was for them to navigate and also see the assignments that were due for the week. In the tab display, instead of putting the lengthy assignment information, I just include a hyperlink that brings it directly to the assignment guidelines in the Assignments tab. It is so clean and organized, and the students are noticing it. With regard to the content currently in the course information and online nursing student resources widgets, I suggest that we move to this type of tab display. I also suggest that faculty consider moving to this format for their assignments, and maybe even your readings and resources if it's appropriate in your courses. But that, of course, is up to you. For the course information and the online nursing student resources, perhaps this is something that the tech committee can work on in the fall and get them loaded into all the design courses for the faculty. I'll be sure to discuss this with Kirsty when everyone is back. This is just an example of what I'm referring to, specifically looking at the course information section. And if you take note here, the course communication submodule includes the expectations for student engagement, online class communication, student conduct, and etiquette. Remember, of course, I'm looking to get rid of these submodules. I played around with it a little bit and actually created this tab display here. Same content, but just displayed in a more tab display type of format where we can get rid of those submodules. So how did I create those tab displays? Let me show you how. First, I just want to show you I'm in a old section of NURS 302 and I am set as a student just to see the student view of the week 4 content. It shows the overview, the readings and resources, and the assignments using those pesky submodules. And you can see in the assignment submodule, there is 3 different pieces of content. So for our purposes here, I'm going to work on just the assignments submodule to create this as a tabbed item. The first thing you have to do is decide how many tabs you're going to want. So for this particular week's assignment, I'm going to want 3 tabs. So next, you're going to go into Upload Create, and you're going to choose Create a File Web Page. In the Enter a Title, put what this is. So this is going to be the week 4 assignments. And then in this Select Document Template, choose Tabs. Now for me personally, I did not want this image, so I can just delete it. I'm going to, of course, delete the verbiage that they have here because it's not appropriate for me. If you do choose to delete all that verbiage, which you're going to need to, be sure not to delete beyond this point yet. But I have my own verbiage that I'm going to place in here, which is my week 4 assignments, and I state that this week there are 2 separate assignments, so I'm clear to the students what they're looking at. As I mentioned before, we have 3 tabs, so now I'm going to scroll down and I can see here that here is my section for 3 tabs. So since I want that section with 3 tabs, I'm going to delete the ones that are not 3 tabs. And you can see that they have listed here these end and start. So you want to make sure that when you're deleting that you're only deleting up to that point. So I'm going to delete the 2 tab one right to there. I'm going to go underneath the 3 tab one and I'm going to start here and I'll delete everything down to that end again. So now I'm left with just the 3 tab option with maintaining that start and end copy. Now I'm going to just bring this up. I'm going to delete this heading here because I have my own heading already, but I have to make sure I do not delete this horizontal start copy here portion. So I want to make sure that that maintains, and I'm just going to bring that up. And now from here, it's pretty self-explanatory. You want to make sure you're not breaking any of the links that are set in here, but I want to change this to be the title of my assignment. Assignment, I think it's 3A, qualitative critique. I'm going to change the title on this one. Assignment 3B, quantitative critique. And then for here, I have a VoiceThread access point. Now, as you probably already guessed, now in these sections down here is where you're going to put the content. So you put the content for the first tab here, second tab, third tab, obviously. For me, because I don't want them to be lengthy instructions in here, for tab 1, I'm just going to say, here is a link to the directions and rubric for assignment 3A, qualitative critique. And now what I can do is hyperlink this by highlighting it, going up to the quick link, going to assignments, and finding assignment 3A. Now I'm just going to go do that again for the second tab. Here is a link to the directions and rubric for assignment 3B, quantitative critique. Again, I will highlight where I want the hyperlink. I'll go up to the quick links. I'll find assignment, and I'm going to link it to assignment 3B. And then for the last one, I just want a VoiceThread access point. Here is a quick link to access VoiceThread. To create the VoiceThread access point, I am just going to highlight it, again go up to the quick links. This time I have to scroll all the way to the bottom and you'll see the external tool link for VoiceThread. I just click it. It's going to bring me to VoiceThread. And as I've mentioned previously, I set everything up as course view. Everything is course view. I'm going to say week 4 critiques and publish. Now I have all my tabs titled. I have all of the links already set. The next thing you do is save and close. I'm in student view now on that same assignment page where you can see the student is able to see the 3 links. The 3 tabs with the links included in it. Now notice also that tabs horizontal start copy here and end copy are still here. Trust me, keep those there until you're sure that the assignment is right and that the links are working correctly and that your tabs are set up correctly, and then you'll go into the HTML code source section to delete those words. I know I worked on doing the student resources, and if you don't have those in there to make sure that you're staying between those 2 points, things kind of get a little messed up. So wait until you're sure that your tabs are all working correctly, and then we will go ahead and delete those. But I just wanted to show you the 3 tabs with the hyperlinks. So now when the student comes in and clicks the hyperlink, It brings them right to the assignment with all of the instructions for the assignment, all the guidelines, and then of course the grading rubric is at the bottom with the ability for them to be able to print it if they choose to do so. Because this is a VoiceThread assignment, they have the ability to mark it as complete because remember I have this set up as a observed in person and manually mark as completed. Now that I know that my tabs are set up and my links are set and everything looks just the way I want it to, now I'm going to go ahead and delete those words so it's not appearing on that student view. I'm going to go up into Edit HTML again. And I don't suggest just deleting it here. I do suggest going into the source code and find the words and delete them from there so that you don't delete any of the code that is present in here. So I can see right here is the start here. I'm just going to highlight it and press delete. And then I want to go find the end one as well. Here it is. And I am going to press delete and I'm going to save. You can see that it has deleted those words and now I can save and close. Now everything looks great. I have my content, I have my tabs with the hyperlinks, and I don't have those words anymore. But you're not done just yet. Now I'm going to return to the week 4 area. And now, because I added this assignments, I can get rid of these other 3 items here. To do that, I can just go to the caret next to the assignment and do delete topic. And then delete. I'm going to do it again for this one. Delete topic, delete, and delete topic, delete, leaving me just the week 4 assignment links that I have set up as tab display. Now, when you look at the week 4 content area, because it still has the submodules of overview, readings and resources, and assignments, it's still lengthy and long, and we still want to get rid of those, hopefully. What you're going to want to do now is drag everything out of the submodules. Just bring it to the top. Okay, so now I have these submodules with nothing in them. And then just come over to your table of contents. And I can delete that submodule. And now I'm going to want to delete the readings and resources submodule. I don't know if I can do it from here. I can't. I have to click first on the table of contents and then do delete module. And then the last one is the assignments. Has nothing in it, right? And I'm just gonna delete that module. Perfect. Now, when the student clicks on the week 4 content area, this is all it brings up. 3 little items, not a long page of things. There's no mess on the table of contents because there's no submodules. They see their week 4 assignments. They see their readings and resources. They see their overview. And now I'm in student view again. So when they go to the week 4 widget and click into the widget, Same thing, they're only seeing those three very short list of things in the week 4 content area. When they click on their assignments, they're taken right to that page that has clearly defined 3 assignments. I took a screenshot of that week 4 content area before I started just to show you the difference. So here is what it originally looked like with the submodules and all the links in there. And then this is what it looks like after we remove the submodules and set up the tab display in the assignments section. Really clean and neat. So I just want to show you one more thing in the online nursing student and resource. If you click on this section currently, it is a very long, lengthy page of contents that you have to scroll quite a distance to get from top to bottom. I worked on this to try and put it into tab displays, and let me just show you what I came up with. Here you see just 3 items instead of this long, lengthy page. So now on this page, if I click into the online nursing student resources section, you see I used an accordion type instead of a tab display type, which is just another one of those options in those templates that I originally showed you. But here you have the student video, the nursing tutor, links to the advisements, Sigma, social media, and the help desk. And if I return to the online nursing student resources, in the college resources and online learning, I did create those as tab displays. So I do hope that you see that it is so beneficial for us to switch from those submodules to these tab display sections, which are much more condensed. We are required to now have a diversity, equity, and inclusion statement in our courses. I met with Cheryl and she felt that it was best that we place it in the course information tab widget, and then alongside the content under academic integrity, accessibility, and college and nursing policies. It's easy to add this. You just want to navigate to that section, go to upload, choose the create a file web page, add a title to it, diversity, equity, and inclusion statement, and then paste the statement here. Of course, make sure it is the required 19-point font, and then save and close. Now when you return back to the course information section, it will be here, and she would like it to be the first statement in that section. Now we're going to talk about rollover. As you remember, we are now responsible to roll over our designs into the active sections before the start of each session. It literally takes a minute to do, and I do have a video linked on this slide to show you how to do it. But just as a quick refresher, you want to be in the empty course that you're looking to copy content into. So be in your empty course. You're looking to now copy your design course into this empty course. You navigate to Course Tools, then Course Administration, and then you navigate to this Import Export Copy Components. Search for your design course under the Search for Offerings section here. So I put in NURS 302 Design in the search, and then when it comes up with your search, you want to tick the box next to the course you're looking to copy, and then choose Add Selected. It then tells you that you're going to copy NURS 302 Design into this empty course that you're in. You then choose Copy All Components, and then you wait. Again, it takes about a minute, but it'll let you know when it's completed, and then you can move on to your next course. To close, pun intended, I wanted to discuss the closing dates, and I guess by default the opening dates too. As a reminder, you access these by heading first to the course tools and then to course administration and then to course offering information. Once you get into the course offering information screen, scroll down towards the bottom. The three important fields are this active button. This is the box that tells us whether or not students can see the chiclet of the course appearing on their homepage. If this is ticked, the students can see the chiclet. If it's not ticked, they cannot see the chiclet. Note that if it's ticked, but the course start date hasn't started yet, they're only able to see the chiclet, they're not able to access it, which is kind of a good thing because then they kind of know where they're going to be able to see their course when it is active and live. Okay. The course start here. For us, we need to ensure that we change this to be the Wednesday before the start of course for preview. So on that Wednesday, you'll want the course to be both active and have the start date. Now note, we can change this ahead of time so that we don't have to do it on Wednesday. We can set this before we load the courses over to the adjuncts, and we should. We should probably discuss the exact time that we're all going to use, so we're using the same time. Perhaps we can use 8 a.m. Wednesday mornings to be that Wednesday morning to be the date that the course is open for all courses in the online programs. And then, of course, same thing with the end date. The end date we have to change to be whatever it is that we need it to be for our program. Tuesday, I think, is typically what everybody uses, but we should come up again with a standard date and time that we're using for this close date. Perhaps we could use Tuesday at 8 p.m. and everybody has theirs set to Tuesday at 8 p.m. Of course, don't forget to click save after you've changed those dates. But we do need to probably come up with some guidelines as to when are we making the chiclet available to the students with that active button. I personally think it should be active as soon as you're doing your rollover to the new sections. There's no reason the students can't see the chiclet if they can't access it until the course open date. But at least they'll know where to find the course and they'll feel comfortable knowing that they are in fact registered for the course. So there you have it. This is everything I wanted to share about lessons learned over the summer. Here is a list of all the videos currently posted on my YouTube channel, and my channel name is Prof Nan with a space there. Feel free to navigate there if you're looking to just quickly see the videos. Of course, they're all very, very short and are right to the point, so you can easily get to the information that you need. I hope that you've all found this helpful.